Today we're gonna review the new Meepo Mini Dual.
What's going on YouTube? It's Drew Mark back at it again with another video, and today we're here with my little cousin Kirby. This is their new electric skateboard made for kids. So we're gonna do an unboxing today. We're gonna go out for a little ride and we're gonna see exactly how well it performs for a small little child like Kirby. Let's get into it. The Meepo Mini Dual. So right here it says to engage, power on by push to start, feet on deck, press forward on the remote and go. Let's go ahead and take it out the box. Right. Before we take a look at the electric skateboard, let's go ahead and see what comes inside the box.
So it comes with a charger, a remote, and a T2. And it also comes with the instruction manual. Now let's talk about the Meepo Mini Dual.
Meepo came up with 3 different designs for the Meepo Mini Dual. This is the forest design. As you can see right here in the bottom, it has a really nice floral pattern. And here we can see the enclosure that holds the battery and the ESC for the Meepo Mini Dual. So I didn't get a spec sheet for this board. So the specs for the battery, it says right down here, it says 42 volts, 2 amp hours, and 72 watt hours. That's around half of the watt hours that they use for the Meepo V4. I believe the Meepo V4 uses around 130, somewhere around that ballpark range. I really like this pattern. It looks pretty unique to the different designs that Meepo has for their other electric skateboards. And as you can see right here in the bottom of the deck, it does have little cutout holes here so that when you're turning, the wheel doesn't actually hit the deck and you don't get any wheel bite.
So now let's go ahead and move on to the trucks. So the trucks have 92A durometer bushings in the front and the back. So the wheels are 75 millimeters and the harness is 78A.
Since the wheels are only 75 millimeters, you're going to have only a little sliver of urethane on the rear motors, because as you can see right here, the rear motors takes up most of the wheel and you only have a little bit of the urethane on the back motors. Just so that you guys know, make sure that you guys tighten these trucks just a little bit from the factory setting. They can come a little bit loose, and having an electric skateboard that's a little bit tighter is overall helpful and will almost remove speed wobbles entirely. On the sides of the deck, it actually does have quite an aggressive concave here on the sides, but it's not as aggressive as the Meepo V4 where it's going to be hurting your feet. The concave allows you to lock in your feet when you're doing left and right turns, and this also has a kick tail, so if you want to tic-tac like a normal skateboard, you can on this one. And just in case you forget, they do have a forward-facing arrow so that you can't really ride this in the wrong direction.
Now that we talk about the skateboard, let's talk about the remote. So this remote is a lot different than the other Meepo remotes because the Meepo Mini Dual remote does not have a screen.
But the Meepo Mini Dual remote still has 4 speed modes and 4 different braking modes. The only difference is, since this has a screen, the Meepo Mini Dual remote will display the different speed modes right here on the side, and it will also display your different battery life on the side via lights. So you won't be able to see how fast you're going, but again, since this is made for kids, you don't really need that. So that's a really good cost-cutting corner. So another cool thing about the Meepo Mini Dual is that it still has the push to start that other Meepo electric skateboards have. So all you really have to do is put the skateboard on the ground, push it with your foot, and the skateboard will turn on. You'll hear 2 little beeps. Then all you have to do is turn on the remote, and then you can go. These are dual hub motors, so compared to other kids' electric skateboards, this is going to have a lot more power because this has 2 motors rather than those skateboards that only have 1 motor. So now that we went over all the details of the Meepo Mini Dual, let's go ahead and go for a little ride and see how it performs, and we'll come back and talk about it. See ya. Keep going lower. Go lower. Got back from our first ride on the Meepo Mini Dual. So background for Kirby, I let him ride the Meepo Hurricane, and I let him ride the Meepo V4. He actually owns a Meepo V4 at his house, so he's pretty well known when it comes to riding electric skateboard. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask Kirby, how do you feel about riding the Meepo Mini Dual, and how do you overall feel about it?
Okay, so after riding the Meepo Mini Dual, it was pretty fun. The kicktail is awesome. I had to tighten the trucks a lot because on speed mode 3, it's like pretty wobbly, so I recommend to tighten it a lot. The wheels are pretty tiny. The grip on it is just like actually good. The concave grip my feet really good. The kicktail was a little bit hard to use. Depends if you actually know how to use the kicktail a lot. For me, it was pretty hard to use. The acceleration is pretty good, but the brakes aren't that bad. The remote wasn't really that confusing because I kind of felt what speed I was going. The remote is kind of tiny for my hand, so yeah. So the forest in the back looks cool. Like, I really like how it has like forest and the color green.
So that's the review of the Meepo Mini Dual coming from a 10-year-old who would actually ride this electric skateboard. So overall, watching him ride, he looked pretty comfortable riding this electric skateboard. He was able to take the turns pretty nice and go pretty fast for, you know, a 10-year-old on an electric skateboard. So if I had to recommend this to your child, or if you're looking for an electric skateboard that doesn't really go too fast, that has a small form factor, and that is honestly a lot of fun and actually pretty cheap, I believe this is going for around $299 since the specs haven't been released yet. I would highly recommend the Meepo Mini Dual. Alright guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.